So I have a Vitel SIM card right here, and in today's video we are going to be testing out the Vitel SIM card on different platforms to see where the Vitel SIM card will and will not work on your phone. Now, what inspired me to make this video is a tech content creator on TikTok called Collins. So basically, Collins got himself a Vitel SIM card just like I did, and he tested out the SIM card on different websites and apps, and but in this video we are going to be doing way more extensive tests on the Vitel SIM card. So yeah, you guys are gonna follow me on this one. Now, as you can see right here, I am removing my main SIM card from my phone and I'm going to be putting in my Vitel SIM card in its place. So now, anywhere you see my main SIM card on the screen, it means that the Vitel SIM card is in the phone. And then anywhere you see the Vitel SIM card, it means that, my main SIM is already in the phone. Yeah, do you get what I mean? The first thing we're going to be testing out is basic browsing. So I went on google.com and I searched up something, and as you can see, it works pretty well. I can look at images and whatnot, just like anyone would do with a typical Google search. The next website I tested out was fast.com. For those that don't know, fast.com is a website that allows you to test out your internet speeds and Wi-Fi speeds and all that stuff with your internet or Wi-Fi devices. So I tried out the fast.com website with my Vitel SIM card, and unfortunately it would not load up at all. I kept on trying. After several attempts, it still wouldn't work. But however, if I put in my main SIM for fast.com, it worked perfectly fine. The next thing I tested out was trying to turn on the hotspot of my phone. Now, I watched Collins' video, and in his comment section, someone commented that hotspot does not work with Vitel. So, as you can see, I am trying out the hotspot, but however, it literally will not turn on at all, no matter what I do. And I even went into the settings of my iPhone to try and enable the hotspot, but however, there's no hotspot option, so I can't even turn it on. But however, with my main SIM, the hotspot was able to turn on and work perfectly. Next, let's do social media apps. Now, I started off with YouTube, and as you can see, YouTube works perfectly well. I can basically watch this video without any type of interruptions. In addition, I also did record a YouTube short video, and then I also tried to upload that short on YouTube, and fortunately for me, it was successful. The next social media app I tried was Instagram, and fortunately for me, Instagram works. As you can see, I am interacting with this post right here, and at the same time, I can also watch this video on Instagram without any type of interruptions. I tested out the Facebook app next, and Facebook works really well. As you can see, I am watching this live stream without any type of interruptions. Next, I tested out LinkedIn, and LinkedIn also worked pretty well. As you can see here, I am liking this post and reposting this post here, and I can do that pretty easily. I also tried out Snapchat too, and Snapchat works really well. I can literally watch this Snapchat video, and I can watch it from beginning to end without any interruptions. Next up, I tested out the Discord app. Now, when I tested out Discord, basically, it literally would not load up anything at all. Like, I tried out opening and closing Discord, and still I had that same issue. But however, with my main SIM card, I could easily view everything on Discord without any issues at all. Next, we're going to be testing out WhatsApp. Now, when I tested out WhatsApp, the results were kind of weird, and let me explain. Now, if you already have an existing WhatsApp account on your phone and you put in your Vitel SIM card, you will be able to send messages to anyone with ease. As you can see right here, I sent a message to myself and the message was able to go through perfectly. The test is weird when you want to register your Vitel SIM card on WhatsApp. I had tried to basically test out my Vitel SIM card on WhatsApp, but however, each time I tried to test it out, it wouldn't send me an OTP at all. I tried using the call method, and yet it wouldn't send me one at all, like for some weird reason. And this test was done multiple times, so it is very weird for this thing to be happening. And then I keep getting comments of people saying that Vitel works on WhatsApp, is working on WhatsApp, but then when I'm testing it out, it literally doesn't work. So I really do not understand what I'm doing wrong or what's going on, if I'm being honest with you. So if you have any suggestions as to how you were able to get your WhatsApp to work with Vitel, then please put that in the comment section below. Finally, for social media, I tested out the TikTok app. Now, TikTok actually works really well. If you're watching a video or whatnot, it will work. But however, there's still one issue. If you notice on this TikTok video that I'm watching, you would see that there's no profile picture at all, like it's blank. Now you can click on the person's profile and everything, and you can view their follower count and other details about them. But however, when it comes to the post, there are no images or thumbnails at all. Like, you can click on a post and watch it, but however, there are no images at all. So if you're looking at the person's page, it's difficult for you to tell what that content is about and everything. You get what I mean? And I tested this out again with another account on TikTok with the same Vitel SIM card, and I still got the same issue. But at the end of the day, TikTok is still watchable with a Vitel SIM card. But however, with my main SIM card, I didn't have this issue at all. It worked normally, like any TikTok account should work. Next, let's look at apps with more content. Now, I'm pretty sure that many of you know the Real Short app, the one that they have all those short dramas, Chinese dramas, and whatnot. Now, with the Vitel SIM card, Real Short works flawlessly. The next app I tested out is the Wattpad app. Now, Wattpad works with the Vitel SIM card. As you can see right here, I'm able to read a story without any issues. But this is where things get weird, because I had opened the Netflix app on my phone with a Vitel SIM card, and the thing is that Netflix literally did not load up at all. But when I used my main SIM card, Netflix was able to load up easily, and I could basically watch any content I wanted on the app. The next app I tested out was Pinterest. Now, when I opened Pinterest with the Vitel SIM card, Pinterest literally would not load anything at all. So it renders Pinterest unusable. But however, with my main SIM card, I was able to use Pinterest flawlessly. Next, we're going to be going to the e-commerce platforms. So first of all, we're going to start off with Amazon.com. I went to Amazon.com, and at first, Amazon wasn't working at all. I literally, gave up thinking that it was going to be a bust. But however, when I went back to my browser, Amazon.com actually loaded up. So I searched for something on Amazon, and I was able to find what I wanted and everything. But however, I tried to search for something else, but then, it wouldn't load up anything at all. So Amazon is like a 50-50 type of thing in my opinion. Amazon worked better on my main SIM card. I was able to search for whatever I wanted without any issues. The next app I tested was Temu. Now for Temu, Temu actually does work. You can add stuff to your cart and use Temu as you normally would, but however, it has the same issue with TikTok. As I told you with TikTok, the profile pictures and stuff, they were not loading. With Temu, some of the images will not load up at all. But at the end of the day, Temu is still usable. But, those pictures are still important when you're looking at items and everything. Do you get what I mean? This issue didn't happen afterwards with my main SIM card on Temu. So, yeah, with my main SIM card, Temu was much better. The next app we're going to be looking at is Jumia. So, basically, I had tried to use my Vitel SIM card on Jumia, but then, literally, it would not load up at all. Like, for something that's local, it doesn't work at all. And I tried this out several times, and yet I still got the error message that it doesn't work. But however, with my main SIM card, I was able to easily use my Jumia and access it like you normally would. Finally, I tested out the Chowdeck app, and when I opened Chowdeck, it literally would not work at all. So basically, you cannot use Chowdeck with your Vitel SIM card. But however, with my main SIM card, I was able to browse Chowdeck effortlessly. Next, we're going to be looking at banking apps. Now, I tried out my Kuda Bank app with the Vitel SIM card, and I was able to transfer money easily without any stress at all. Next, I tested out my Alot by Wema app, and my Alot by Wema also worked very well. So when it comes to banking, then yeah, banking is good. Let's look at some productivity apps. I started off with ChatGPT with my test, and ChatGPT works with the Vitel SIM card without any stress. The next app I tested out was the Google Maps app. Google Maps works very well. As you can see, basically, I was able to, look at this apartment here, and I can look at the pictures and everything. So yeah, Google Maps is good. The next app I tested out was a VPN app, and as you can see, the VPN is literally struggling to connect, and it doesn't work at all. I tried out the VPN thinking that maybe it would help with the issues of sites not working, but however, a VPN literally does not work with Vitel, and that is very, very crazy. But however, with my main SIM card, I was able to connect to the VPN without any issues, and even to disconnect as well. Next, I tested out the Apple App Store, and unfortunately, the Apple App Store does not open at all. So yeah, if you have a Vitel SIM card and you're thinking that you want to use it to download apps from Apple, then yeah, forget about that. Next, we're going to enter the game section, and I'm testing out 3 different games. The first game I tested out was the episode game. I'm pretty sure that many of us may have grown up on episode, or we still play the game up till now. When I tried to open the episode game, basically it took about 2 minutes before the app could actually open. And then I tried to select a story, and basically the story would not open up at all. I was on that screen for 5 minutes, and basically I could not play any episode. But however, with my main sim, I didn't have any issues accessing episode. I could easily access any story I wanted to, and I could play through it. The next game I tested out was FC Mobile, the soccer or football game. And basically, with my Vitel SIM card, the game wouldn't open at all. But however, with my main SIM card, the game was downloading assets and everything, which means that it is working. Finally, I tried out the eFootball game, and it literally would not load up at all. But however, when I did it with my main SIM card, it was able to load up stuff, and it even told me to update the game. Do you get what I mean? But next, with the Vitel SIM, I tried to go on Vitel's website, and unfortunately, the website would not open up at all. So basically, if you have an iPhone, the only way that you can get airtime or data for your Vitel SIM card is if you use the Vitel's website, or if you're near an agent and stuff. But in this case, I'm not near any agent, so I wanted to just basically, try and use the website. But however, I couldn't open the website at all. So it is really weird that this SIM card will not work with like the website and stuff. Do you get what I mean? I also have some bonus apps that I tested out basically. Now, if you're into crypto, I tried out 3 different apps, which are Trust Wallet, Bybit, and BitGet. And basically, none of them could work with the Vitel SIM card at all. With my main SIM card, however, these crypto apps were able to work without any issues. If you're into freelancing, like maybe you're a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork, just know that the Vitel SIM card does not work on those sites at all. But however, when I used my main SIM card, I was able to access my Fiverr and Upwork. Next, I tested out the Zoom app, and Zoom literally would not work at all with the Vitel SIM card. But however, with my main SIM card, I was able to access the Zoom app. Now for the creatives. If you're someone that likes using Adobe Express or Canva on your phone, I tried 2 of those apps out, and unfortunately, they did not work at all. But however, with my main SIM card, both of these apps were able to work. Finally, if you're somebody that likes to use ride-hailing apps like Bolt or Uber or InDrive, out of 3 of these apps, only the Bolt app worked. Uber and InDrive literally would not work at all. But with my main SIM card, Uber and InDrive were able to work with ease. Now, let me give you my opinion on the Vitel SIM card right here. For me, I feel as if this whole Vitel service was rushed in general, because this SIM card is having issues with all of these sites and everything. And it is weird that this thing is being sold with these issues at hand. I feel as if now that Vitel may have not done, their surveys and everything to see what people actually like in Nigeria. Like when it comes to browsing online, what the average user would use their SIM card for. I feel as if now that they didn't really put all those things in mind, and they just launched just like that. And if I'm being honest, this SIM card can be so much better. If they're in partnership with MTN and everything, then they should actually have all these things working. I really don't know why these things are not working. And then, I remember I made a video talking about the Vitel SIM card on TikTok, and people were like, oh, it's a new SIM card, give it time. Oh, I'm trying to bring down Vitel. Oh, I'm a liar, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm not supporting our own. I'm supporting Vitel because I bought a SIM card with my own money. I buy airtime and data with my own money for Vitel. Are you telling me that it's not support? I even made videos advising Vitel on things that they could do that would help their service. And someone was like, oh, I'm rushing them. Rushing them as how? And funny enough, I did try to reach out to Vitel basically because I wanted to work with them when I first got this SIM card right here, but they never responded, and that's okay. And right now, as it stands, it is more difficult for me to recommend this SIM card to anyone because, first of all, most of these apps do not work, and it wouldn't feel right to recommend this SIM to people when these apps literally do not work. Next, people do not like the data plans on Vitel because they're the same as MTN basically. So basically I made a video about the data plans that Vitel has, and my whole audience, everybody was commenting that they can't get a solid SIM card because it's basically the same as MTN. That what's the need of switching if now that MTN is going to give the same thing and Vitel is giving the same thing? Like, there's no reason to switch at all. So when it comes to the data plans, you guys can actually try to do better and fix this type of thing, so that way, you know, you have something competitive that will give people a reason to actually want to pick you over MTN and Co. For me personally, I just want Vitel to be a better service, because for the fact that this SIM card was launched shows that they have so much potential, and there's so many things that they can do. Like with their marketing, I always see them say that, oh, they're the first MVMO, it can track blah blah blah, port your number, switch to Vitel, blah blah blah. The average person cannot use it as a daily driver because most of these apps that people use do not work. For me, I see Vitel as a backup SIM. Like, for example, if you want to, you know, keep it as a backup SIM, like for your calls or basic browsing and stuff, then this is where this SIM can be useful. But with their marketing, there are things that they can try to capitalize off of that still make this SIM card useful. According to Vitel's website, they say that you can basically use this SIM card as an eSIM that you can use to travel to other countries, like that will work there. I don't see the eSIM thing being marketed in that type of way. Everyone says, oh, switch to Vitel, switch to Vitel. Why not give us a reason to switch with that eSIM thing? I'm telling you, get travel creators involved. Pay them to travel to any country, Ghana, Cameroon, Benin, I don't care, and give them a Vitel SIM card and let them use it in that country, and let's see if it works there. I'm telling you, you will sell out if you do that. Additionally, Vitel also has this app that tested out that doesn't work, and it's called Xphone. Now, Xphone is an app that lets you call 11 people in your contact list for free. I do not see Vitel promoting this app at all. This is something that can even give them an advantage for people to switch to Vitel in that type of way. Do you get what I mean? In the end of the day, I hope that in the future that, you know, Vitel can improve this service and whatever they have to offer overall. So that will be all for today's video. If you have a Vitel SIM card currently, please comment below. Tell us your experience with the Vitel SIM card currently, and also have you tested the Vitel SIM card on different apps and everything, and you can share your comments about that in the comment section. Okay.